Hey everyone, it's Tony here again. Today, let's tackle the one question you'll face in 95% of interviews. Tell me about yourself or walk me through your resume. Most candidates see this as a warm-up question, but there's actually more to it. Drawing on my background as a former Amazon principal recruiter and bar raiser, I'm diving deep into the interviewer's mindset. Why do we ask this question? And what are we really looking for here? I'll also be using my own resume as a guide, and I'll teach you how to dodge the mistakes and demonstrate real leadership and ownership. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. So when an interviewer asks, tell me about yourself, what they're actually asking is, why are you interested in this role and how can you add value to this team? If you just reread your resume or LinkedIn summary, sorry, you've already missed the opportunity. Don't just recite your profile. Frame your experience through the lens of the job you're applying to. This is where you demonstrate ownership. Identify the one strength you have that add value to the team and solve the current challenge. After saying it, stop talking. Often candidates find themselves rambling on and on, drifting further away from the main point. It's a normal reaction. Nerves kick in and you start overanalyzing the interviewer's facial expressions, wondering why they haven't interrupted you yet. But in reality, the interviewer is testing one thing. Is your communication concise and to the point? This question is a test of your conciseness. If you ramble, you're failing the communication bar. So let's look at a quick example. This is my personal resume. I was interviewing for a head of talent role, and the CEO's very first question was, walk me through your career history, Tony. If you were in my shoes, how would you answer? I'd say roughly 70% of candidates will say something like this. I've been a recruiter for over 10 years, mostly at Amazon, as well as a senior recruiter in Vancouver for AWS, and then moved to New York to be a principal recruiter to Amazon advertising. I've managed teams of up to 12 people and hired a lot of VPs and directors. The interviewer might be thinking, I can read this on your resume already. Why are you actually here today? So at this stage, a negative first impression has already kicked in. In the world of interviewing, your first impression effectively becomes your permanent one. Thin slicing theory shows that these instant mental snapshots are incredibly difficult to change. For the rest of the interview, the interviewer is subconsciously seeking out reasons to validate why you shouldn't be hired. So what does an ideal response look like based on this example? First, show who you are. I'm a strategic recruiting leader with over a decade of experience scaling high-growth organizations, most recently as a principal recruiter at Amazon Advertising. Then you talk about the why and your value. I'm interested in this role because your team is currently at a critical growth inflection point, and I specialize in building the hiring infrastructure needed to scale from X to Y. I also have an EMBA and a diploma in HR management and very curious to learn about AI and large language models and want to work with leaders in this space. Lastly, wrap it up casually with the interviewer to give them the chance to ask their next question. You can say something like this. That's about me in a nutshell, and I'm excited to learn more about this opportunity from you in our conversation today. So let's summarize. In 3 or 4 sentences, explain your role, your identity, why you're interested in this role, and your value, then stop talking. Candidates oftentimes fall with silence, but from an interviewer lens, if you're able to own your silence, that shows leadership and confidence. Alright, that's it for today. If you're currently preparing for your next interview and find this video helpful, please like and follow. If you're struggling with other interview questions, drop it in the comments and I'll also get back to you. Until next time, bye!